How are you feeling overall?
I feel great. I
Yeah.
just did an online thing yesterday for a cancer organization, and I forget what it's like because it's been a long time since I was a patient. Every once in a while, I think I'm going to have a recurrence, of course, because everyone always thinks that every headache is a recurrence. But breast cancer was an amazing journey for me. And at the time that I was diagnosed with breast cancer, there was no Instagram. There was not a lot of other women that were my age. At the time, I was in my 30s, early 30s, and I didn't know anybody alive who had breast cancer. I certainly didn't know any young women. So it was a really isolating and weird time, but I still felt like I had to have the top hat and cane on every time I went into the waiting room. But what I discovered was that I met so many people who were going through so much. Every woman I ever met who had breast cancer had to work during cancer, just like me. I had to make a record when I could barely sing. Jason Darr is a hell of a producer. And they all had to work. Most of them, like me, didn't have their medication covered unless it absolutely targeted the cancer cell. For example, and this is just stuff that I learned as a patient. I had gotten a blood clot in my surgical port, and it was really, really awful. So I had to take these injections of basically a blood thinner, if you will. It was called heparin, but it was a fragment. I don't know what brand it was, but anyway, they were pre-filled syringes, and I had to take them every day. I had to give myself an injection of this like low molecular weight shit to keep my blood thin so that I wouldn't have a stroke, which I eventually had anyway, but long story. Anyway, it wasn't covered. And I was like, this is $1,000 a month. Why is this not covered? And they're like, well, it doesn't affect the cancer cell. And so it's not covered, like literally. And I just thought, well, then what do people do? I mean, I don't know who has $1,000 a month. And they were like, well, they just don't take it. And I was just like, are you kidding? My baby aspirin taking ass. Like, are you kidding me? And it gave me a big insight into the reality of being a patient in this country. And I think things are probably worse now. And it varies. It's different from province to province, but
is it still that much? Is it still that much?
I don't know, but right now it's just like, I mean, yeah, things are there's so much inequality when it comes to healthcare. Yeah, if you don't have extended medical, and I don't know, all of us musicians do not have medical plans. We pay for our own dental stuff. We pay for all our healthcare. It was just so eye-opening, and it just got me into learning about what's going on in this country when it comes to healthcare and when it comes to the bureaucracy and social services and stuff like that. And I'm still discovering more. Even moving to this province is different from BC, and they're all bad. Of course, everything can be improved for everybody, but I learned a lot.
The social media at the time, though, you were very active on and keeping us posted on your journey. So I think people were inspired by that, and also learned a lot. And here you are with us still, and inspiring people, and still making music, and still playing shows. So here we are. So thanks for stopping by, friends, to the Brenton on Tour podcast channel on YouTube. Coffee, music, travel, life, all of those things. One page, lots of guests, lots of chatter. We talk about all of it. If you like it, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Thanks, friends. See you next time.